Good morning. Today's another swoop day. Yeah, I was just over there at the Kodiak truck camper and I was making some last minute preparations because this morning we're headed out to the St. Croix State Park. That's another state park that we've never been to before, so I don't know a lot about it. Candy picked it out of a hat, I think, and that's where we're going. So last minute preparation. She's actually still sleeping. She's actually still in bed, and I've been making all the preparations. And that's fine, you know. She stays up later than me. But I was, walking around the property, picking up sticks and stuff like that, like I do every morning. What I call a morning routine with my coffee. And I was walking by these gardens, and I was thinking, my gosh, it's like overnight they seemingly just, boom. Look, let me show you. This is what we call the greenhouse garden, so we don't confuse them when we talk to each other, because it's got a couple of little greenhouses in it. That's why we call it that. But let's look at this. Now I know where she's been picking all the zucchini. She's been picking like a handful every day, bringing them in. Now, I don't know what any of this stuff is in this garden, but I do know that 90% of it is edible. So I'm good with just knowing that. It's just amazing. I'm amazed because I haven't been out here in a while. Got her pickles going there. Cabbage. This must be where she's getting all my salad stuff. I see that's all picked, so yeah. She feeds me. I don't know whether it's from Costco or the garden, but looking at it, it's from the garden. Wow. Oh, these cranberries laying on the ground here. This is a hybrid cranberry bushes. Oh, they're getting ripe already. Look at that. This thing is 20 feet tall. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been out here. Look at these crabapple trees. They're just loaded with crab apples. I think that's what they are. I'm not the gardener. I can take some credit because I do a lot of the grunt work here. Here's her carrot bed. She's planted that twice. More cranberries. Lots of cranberries. More apples. Potatoes. There. Onions. There. Boy, this tree is so heavy with apples it can hardly stand up. Yeah, I'd say this is a pretty productive year. For apples. Not sure what that is. Rhubarb, maybe? It's a guessing game with me. She'll tell you one day soon in the future what everything is. I gotta assume these are pickles or cucumbers because they're planted under this trellis, I guess is the word for it. More apples. It's just amazing. These are wild plum trees, and these had actually almost died at one point, and we were going to pull them out, but she left them go, and they came back to life, and now they're starting to bear a lot of fruit. But the fruit these trees are bearing this year is nothing compared to what's out in the orchard garden. I think I showed you kind of sort of some of that in a couple of videos ago where I pulled out that apple tree. But we'll go back over there just to remind you. More cranberries. Just a beautiful, beautiful place to be and spend some time in the morning. I should have brought my coffee and pulled up a hay bale. Except my ass would be soaked because it rained last night. Okay, let's go over to the well garden. The well garden, we call the well garden because it has a well in it. And like I said, you know, a lot of times she'll want to tell me where she's at, and we have so many gardens, she has to differentiate between the two. I'm in the greenhouse garden, I'm in the well garden, or I'm in the orchard garden. And that's how we do it. Our rabbits are doing really well. Let's just say she brought a bunch of them to market yesterday, and then they're in our freezer. So I know that's what she was. She does that. I don't do that. I cut grass. That's what I do. So let's go look at the well garden. Like I said, we're gearing up. We're leaving today. We're leaving this morning, and I think it's 2.5, 3 hour drive or something like that. She picks it. She picks the places we go. I just say, where you want to go? She picks it, and that's where we go. And I'm good with that because they're all nice. So here we're coming to the well garden, and this is another one I haven't been in, and I'm just absolutely amazed. Just look at this. Those are tomatillos. I think those are tiger lilies. I know this is garlic, or not garlic, but dill. Ah, that's our celery there. Tomato plants are oh wow, they're doing really good. They're doing wonderfully. I see some fruit on them. See that? Wow. Beans. Look at these flowers. I'm not sure what you call these. Hollyhocks, maybe? Boy, they're huge. Look at that. She should make some kind of cover of some gardening magazine somewhere. These are another tomatillo plant. It's pretty full. More onions. Another tomatillo plant. Tomatoes. Like I said, this is beans. Oh, we're getting lots of tomatoes here. There's nothing better in the world than fried green tomatoes. This plant here, this flower, hollyhocks, I think. I don't know, something like that, whatever they are. I'm 5 feet 10.5 or something like that. So these are like 7 feet high. Look at that. That is just incredible. There's our well, our prepper well, I call it. Provides fresh, clean drinking water 365 days a year, 24/7. Right out of the ground. Nature's natural filtration system. Lots of tomatoes coming in. I think this is a State Fair apple tree. Now last year this tree was just loaded with literally hundreds of apples, and this year not so much. It does that. It's like every other year it gets a lot. It produces a lot. And this year there's a smattering of a few here and there, but not as many as last year. This is a cherry tree that was just filled with cherries the other day when I walked by, and now the birds seem to have got them all. And that's fine. Okay, there's kind of a walk through the well garden. And like I said, I think I was in the orchard garden a couple of videos ago when I pulled out that apple tree stump. So as long as I'm at it, let's go over there and have a look inside the orchard garden. Right before we go, I think we'll put this video out as a garden walkthrough before we leave on our trip. You can see I already got the jacks up. I've been packing the Kodiak up. This is our grapes. They're loaded. They're loaded. We haven't been really training them to come up over this trellis like we should be doing, because we've got too much other stuff going on to be doing that, trimming everything up. It's just the two of us. This is our chokeberry bush out here. This thing has always produced an enormous amount of fruit, year in and year out. So let's go in. That's our horseradish with those big leaves right there. I think that's another crabapple tree. Don't quote me on that. Here's where I took out that dead apple tree. Still have to fill in that hole there. But yeah, unlike the other plum tree, this thing is just so heavy with plums. And these plums, they taste just like any plum you would buy in the store, like the real big juicy ones you'd buy at Costco or something in the plastic containers that look so good and they look so perfect. These taste exactly the same. They're just smaller. They'll get about maybe twice this size probably before they ripen, and they taste exactly the same. So maybe that's why the tree grows so many of them. Here's more chokeberries. They're absolutely prolific. They grow like crazy year in and year out. And it's a great means of filling your freezer with fruit, because you can depend on these every year. Some kind of flower there. She's picked all the Nanking cherries that she's going to pick, and she's got a bucket full of them in the freezer somewhere, I'm sure, along with a bucket full of various kinds of berries that she's picked out here. I know blueberries, I know Saskatoons, I can't name them all, but she's picked a ton of berries out here. She washes them, she freezes them, and then during the winter months, the cold Minnesota winter months, it gives her something to do, right? Yeah, she cans them. She makes her dishes with them. Oh, this apple tree here is, I've never seen it so filled with apples as it has this year. They're getting big. When I was a kid, we used to pick apples when they're just like this, green apples, and just eat them just like this all the time, constantly. We'd get a stomach ache and we wouldn't know why, and then when that would pass, we'd come out and eat a bunch more. But these blueberry bushes are ready to be harvested again. There's a wall of flowers. I'm not sure what those are. Here's her rose hips. They do something, I don't know what. Some kind of squash plant. Pumpkins maybe, I don't know. Potatoes there, I know that. Pepper plants. These are all the berries she's been picking from. I know that's garlic. I know these are elderberries here. She comes out and weeds around them. But she makes some kind of tonics, medicinal tonics with these. Those look like more pickles, be my guess. Look at this bush. This thing is just heavy with berries. The wind is really howling this morning, boys. So I'm looking forward to another trip in the Kodiak truck with the Arctic Fox 990 truck camper on the back of it. And I've made a few extra design things in it. Let me show you right before we take off here. All right, let me unlock the back door here and show you. All right. I bought this Harbor Freight Thunderbolt solar panel, 100-watt solar panel, and it kept falling over during the traveling and things like that. It's a bumpy ride, boys. Anyway, get my chainsaw here. But I got it made now so it's bungeed down to the coat hanger there. And it works well. And I don't have her, all I got to do is just like pull it out of the box. Just pull it right out. You see that? And it's ready to go. So I made it pretty convenient for myself when I need it. And I have besides the Honda 3000 generator, I have a couple of Jackeries in the camper too. I got a Jackery 1500 and a 300 Explorer, I think they call it. Anyway, that solar panel will fit it, and we can recharge our solar generators during quiet time or whatever at the campgrounds. If we don't have full hookup, we generally always get full hookup, and by full hookup I just mean power, just hooked up to power. So we're taking off this morning, headed out, and before we do, I just thought I'd let you know that we'll do a traveling video and then an arrival video, and kind of like we did with the Ely thing. So we'll see you out on the road, and that's just a little look at our gardens to date.